we haven't been in this lobby before, and in SUPERVIVE especially, you don't know where other people are dropping, you don't know how other people are rotating. It's really difficult to predict when you're going to run into another squad if you're not paying really close attention.
As the teams drop then for game number 3 over halfway through this 4-game series. First series of 2 today, by the way. Got some North American teams locked and ready to go after this. Bomber lead by 43 points over Pumpers, and then 4GG 1 point behind them. Turbo Velocity 1 point behind them. So really, big gap to traverse. We really do need to see an early Bomber elimination, I feel, to sort of reset the lobby. And Dia, as everybody drops, we see Bomber and Turbo Velocity and Friendly Fire immediately entering scraps.
Everybody backing off around this camp. Turbo Velocity should have the advantage in finishing it, but they're not going to stick around. If you're able to finish the camp, the likelihood that you get level 2 really high, but just a little bit too risky to stay there. Elsewhere, Mana Coil's really popping off right now. We've already got a res on Oath, but TFH are backing off.
And one of the teams which is really struggling this series. To be fair, it's the first games played in terms of show matches this time around for the likes of Flawed and for Darkin. Sinoid falls, Flawed the last survivor. The 4 horsemen, well, they are supposed to be the onset of death, but feels like death is coming for them, Dia.
I just, you know, to bring this back to the compositions, something that I'm really looking at, I do think that is going to be a weakness of 4 horsemen. If they're going to drop early, they don't want to take a fight first, because with things like Kingpin, Oath, and Aluna, you're already missing so much damage.
Friendly Fire and TTB looking down 2 sets of gold armor apiece here in Cold Fang Keep. We will leave them to their devices. Check in elsewhere as Pumpers move into Mana Coils, where they will find Met. With Clown Fiesta going to rotate out on the Zeph, taking a long way around. Surely got a sense of Pumpers to the right of them, brewing some Vive, but Clown Fiesta going after this Vault Deer, and they might be in for a rude surprise.
Because Clown Fiesta do have a flank, they got to be careful not to get engaged on either side. It's going to turn into ultimately Cream being the last one out of there, being able to defend this angle with Shrike. You can shoot through these walls, so there's quite a bit of poke that can come back onto Pumpers, but Pumpers also have the vault advantage, and we've even got a small playoff and engage here with Bishop. Already Blitzman is low, and Chipsaw is completely isolated on the side, taking a 1v2.
And, well, took the 1v2 past tense, but the vault has been opened and Blixman has picked up a T3 armor in there. Spike onto Mordecy. Rise Cream's got to get out. Met has got... I mean, look at the great stun there from Chapel, but brilliant work from the opposition Met there, bringing him away and out of danger. Rise Cream falls to Blixman. In goes Miko, trying to find those stacks on the Jewel. Mordecy pops, I think, a Vive Beam. It goes in with the Bishop, finds the knock. Incredible play, but then the response from Hot Biscuit on the strike. Early game monster. Bomb Met again, bringing Mordecy away, looking for the revive. That's a very risky game to play, and Clown Fiesta drop at 10.
With the last shot, Hot Biscuit just barrel stuffs this Zeph. No escape, and Zeph critical in that engagement as well. Great Vortex charms, excellent revives. I really liked the way that those two Zephs played off each other. A lot of skill expression on that Hunter.
Profit, Dia. I wish I had a replay for the top right of our screen, because we just saw Treadsy fall. The last of Bomber. They're down at 9. All of a sudden, this entire series blown wide open for the chasing pack.
And I really wonder at what point in this series we're going to see someone actually overcome them. Because yes, it is blown wide open, but we got to remember they have 73 points and the next team has 30 over 2 games. So will anyone actually surpass them? It's going to take a lot of kills, and that's where it starts right here as we kick off another fight. Toomey getting aggressive, finding the first knock on Lembo.
Finds a second on Asio as well. Lembo's gonna fall to their demise. It looks like it helped on their way by Toomey, who's effectively claimed that double kill, forcing Cathode Ray team into the retreat. North there we see Vivat Venazio. They're really a team in all of their own space. They're not going to be encountering anyone else for a long time yet, but finally a moment to breathe, dear. And if anybody else did notice that kill feed, everyone's going to be now formulating, okay, what do we want to do? Because you are quite right to point out, we need to see a Bomber level of domination in game number 3 to make things really interesting for our final game.
I do wonder what team will take up that mantle. Will it be one of these? Pumpers have already taken several engagements, and they've got the ability to pick up more kills as Toomey and Retri fall very quickly. The burst on Pumpers is wild as they've got not only Bishop engagements, but are one of the few teams to be running SReliq that when things line up, does an incredible amount of damage.
I'm willing to put it out there. I think Hot Biscuit is the best SReliq in the world right now. I think especially when we talk about that late game drop-off, I don't ever feel that with Hot Biscuit in a solo 1v1. Sign me up. I'm ready to be his duo. Meteor Soul's on the way. Teleport Soul and Armor Soul for those interested. TTV, though, very interested in this engagement. Kaiju Blast catches us 2 for a stray. Sinoid falls, Darkin falls, and once again, the four horsemen simply fodder for the lobby right now.
It all happened so quickly. I mean, the ult's almost superfluous at the end just to help finish off a few kills. But that is going to be the nature of SUPERVIVE when you're able to land a few critical cooldowns, whether they be powers or your very own. It is extremely difficult to escape, and we're going to have a few more thrown out right now. You do not want your Luna on the front lines. Hot Biscuit, however, takes to his own. Snow, caught between everyone, is going to fall, which means no Kingpin, no front line, and Chipsa has certainly got plenty of room to bully this team out.
Snow really unfortunate there with the rather larger hitbox, gets caught on the wall, and that's free KP over to Pumpers. Meanwhile, TTV taking a little look at the Gucci good guys going after this soul. Down goes a campfire looking for the steal here. Anamox getting closer. We got a lovely finale, but Teldo looking to put a finish to this fight. Fable taking down OC elsewhere on the map, but TTV have been able to steal away the teleport soul right from underneath the noses of the good guys.
Still looking for the last knock on Retri. Going to be able to get away on Bishop, but TTV's Soul Secure is really good, and we've got one of my favorite souls in this game, Relic, so let's talk a little bit about this. Yes, we've got Armor Soul with Teleport Soul taken as well. We have a team that can be anywhere on the map at any time.
I mean, especially if the ring trends towards a place with plenty of Abyss. What a clutch soul to have. There's no risk of going over that Abyss and getting spiked yourself. You can just go there. It's as simple as that. Less simple is this fight as the Earth Shatter goes down. I think OC15 just managed to avoid it. In goes that Kingpin once again. Hot Biscuit being well covered by Chipsa, and they get the first kill as well on Arcane. Toomey and Retri, the entirety of the good guys spread. OC's going to be put to bed by Blixman. Chipsa finds Toomey, but ex-Retri's got an out.
I am looking at that fight amazed by what we just saw out of Chips on Hot Biscuit. The duo played that incredibly, and they're going to have to do it again as they do get engaged on this team. Hasn't had a chance to reset, but Chipsa again in the front lines and unkillable on this Oath.
I'm just looking at the levels and I'm asking myself, why on earth did you go for this four horsemen? Manages to catch all four with the Earth Shatter, but I mean, what's the next step? And they're going to go down here, Diablo. Ori over on the other side of the map fighting Cabanero, and here's a third-party situation as well. 4GG surely going to be keeping an eye on that rotate out from the four horsemen, a rotate which they've been able to complete.
I'm watching 4GG and going, I don't know, I wouldn't engage this right now. Pumpers have been on a rampage so far, and I don't think they're showing any signs of slowing down. The rotate out of here is going to be a little bit slower, but they've got plenty of space through the west side of the ring to do it. Or if they want to go east and maybe pick a fight with the boys, I think they could do it. The Gucci good guys are looking pretty engageable right now.
Did you check out that itemization, by the way, on Pumpers? 3 abyssal items, 2 on Blixman, who, as... Ooh, what did I just watch?
That's a...
Pensato?
I just saluted my monitor. It happens to all of us.
Oh, no. Oh, well. Let's put that firmly in the past, shall we? And take a look at the present. Turbo Velocity going after Cathode Ray team, and that Wisp is going to fall into oblivion. One more KP to the pile.
Is a nice way for TTV to be playing this out. They've already got very nice armors and sort of checking out their loadouts. Plenty of powers as well. They haven't had to suffer too many resets. And speaking of resets, we've actually got a few as Friendly Fire. Respawn in Kobayashi's. Laud looking for a hook. Does not find it onto Fable, but I know a lot of people now know this. If you end up hooking somebody, doesn't do damage, doesn't draw aggro, but you still can kill on the orb.
That is correct. An air blast, however, which does one singular point of damage, I believe, I think does count as a kill. It's lots of minutia when it comes to what I'm affectionately labeling the core of Kobayashi's, as opposed to the heart, which is that lovely big thing in the middle of the big green bit. You know what I'm talking about. 8 teams, 32 players. Our 10-minute mark has come and gone. Ring, sir, I mean, we talk about Kobayashi's. It is circling in there, and circling in is Vivat Venazio now on pumpers.
You just can't stop these guys. I watched that chip saw ult. I knew there was nothing that you could do against that. Vivat Venazio completely split up, and now they are back in Kobayashi's, and at nighttime too. You can't even res safely. At this point, it's about waiting things out, surviving, and then maybe going for a res. Either Kobayashi's elsewhere, it doesn't matter, but right now you are not safe as a solo.
By this point, the 4 horsemen are just happy to be here. They have been the whipping boys of the lobby to this stage. As fate strikes, hides in the bushes. You'd think that a Hudson would be visible, but this is SUPERVIVE, baby. Different rules apply to different people and different hunters. And 4GG there, picking up another item, keeping an eye on Friendly Fire, they've got themselves in a real pickle here. The 4 horsemen, well, downtrodden and out. No, they're going to say anything about it. Go in and find a kill immediately. Here's 4GG now with the third party. Earthshatter sees Junker fall to their death. There goes Diablo, though. Sinnoy, the 4 horsemen being split up. Friendly Fire already gotten out there. Just a beautiful punish from 4GG.
Quite a few kills that are unanswerable right now. FF playing around this res beacon aren't going to be able to pull anything off here, and aren't looking to it either. Instead, just playing the island for island and Abyssal Control's sake. We've still got a big spread of teams, though, and we've got a res finally starting up. It looks like we had that Hudson go for a quick reset, isn't going to find it. Face strikes instead, now trying to get back into Kobayashi's, where you should, and I say should, be safe.
I cannot believe that Cabanero did not look for the knock, for the spike. Just seemed like an armistice was signed in mid-air. Speaking of, that's where we find Darkin, who's going to try and rotate right. Flawed is going left. Cathode Ray team find the 1. Are they going to find the 2nd? This would be 8 team in the lobby if Flawed goes down. 4GG takes out Acme, though. They've got to be careful because that 4GG squad is north, going after them. Misses the Kaiju grab Lembo and the Q as well. I think Flawed just about going to get away with this.
Have ult back up soon as well, playing very nicely around itemization. You can see the health start to regen as he was disengaging there, not taking damage for long enough, but another engagement forward. This hover wings into the finale is incredibly powerful, and it's buying 4GG so much space.
Anybody who watched the North American show matches yesterday, I know you were one of them, dear, understands the hover wings meta that we currently find ourselves in. You can pull off some absolutely outrageous things. If you got Icarus wings on there as well, holy moly! But Flawed, sweat off the brow. That is another full team revive for the 4 horsemen. How many are they on now?
Yeah, it has been a struggle bus for this squad, but fortunately enough, they just keep getting runs at it, so we'll see what they choose to engage next. Right now, going to hit the Forge real quick, get themselves a little bit more survivability. We still have 7 squads left in this game. That is a lot of teams yet to be taken down as the circle continues to pull us around Kobayashi's, which creates really fascinating end zones. I mean, it'll be very tough to decide who's going to come out on top of this, because we're likely going to get a very silly end game relic.
Yeah, they don't come around often, but when they do, you can be assured shenanigans are afoot. I do wonder who dropped out at 8, actually, because there was somebody there that we missed. Moving over to Turbo Velocity, lovely hook, and that Earth Shatter, a little bit of overkill, but that is the support pulled out from Pumpers onto the back foot for the first time, really, today.
Another hover wings looking for an engagement. Teldo is not going to find this off of an ultimate, allowing the rest of Pumpers to get away. It is just these 2. But we talked about the duo of Chips on Hot Biscuit earlier. So as we've got a lot more teams falling, as everybody's trying to find a way into Kobayashi's, I trust these 2 more than anyone else to pick up the rest of their squad using the most wanted if need be.
One thing that Turbo Velocity was missing was itemization. They got it now. CRT do not have any more lives left. drop at 7, and 4GG not looking too bad either. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 legendary level items that they can count in their pockets. And yeah, we're moving to Kobayashi's. It's a real question now of whether it leans more towards Kobayashi's itself, or whether there is going to be a lip out on the train line, dear, which... how on earth do you even try to play that?
This is going to be tough. We've only got a few seconds left, by the way, in the daytime. So it could be very... Actually, I spoke too soon. We're going to be sticking around here. So the standoff in Kobayashi's, engagement on the other side. Same thing, following up with the Oath ult. That's not going to matter as TTV come in right behind, making things very difficult for the 4 Horsemen. I gotta feel bad for them, but Diablo's dealing right now, coping and disengaging. 4GG continue on forward, looking for knocks on TTV, but they're not going to find anything as Teldo gets a knock on Ninja and now looks for the last 2.
Copium ran out, unfortunately ran straight into friendly fire. Nemo's gotten out, but there is friendly fire once again! Nemo, lovely use of that shift midair, and they're going to return back, of course, activating that myth ability. Snow's going to fall to their death, but Nemo escapes, but not for long. Here's Gucci Good, guys. And that's the end of 4GG, fall at 5.
And it's just in time for Pumas to get back, Pumpers to get back, I don't know why I went Pumas, to get back into the game. Sitting in Kobayashi's, they are, you could say, ready to pounce as they've now got their whole team back together. And there's so many squads piled up on the eastern side outside.
There's no respectability to claw back. They've already earned it from us. Big engagement now from Adamark, finds the first knock on Retri. Gucci Good, guys, back into the safety, question mark, of Kobayashi's. Turbo Velocity waiting. Guardsman on the edge of this shielding. The guards still around. And Hot Biscuit finding a knock onto Toomey. There you go. You can use the core to claim KP.
It's just, you know, about controlling space. You got to be very careful with displacements here. The rest of the team does look pretty safe, however. TTV, remember, with Teleport Soul, have chosen to position themselves all the way on the north side of the map. Lancelot going to get back to the team as FF struggle for a way to engage this squad. A very well looted up TTV now has full control over this north side of the map. I don't see FF being very comfortable moving up to them, and we're likely going to see Tomkick throw out a couple more Kingpin hooks to see what we can find with these abyssal grabs.
Absolutely, it's such a high-value face-off, and that's a wonderful cue. The execute from Tomkick, and here comes Pumpers to execute the other side. Junker caught between a hard place and a very hard place. Falls to his death as well, but friendly fire survived. Dalaluna gets out of there, and now a very different prospect for TTV. There's Caballero once again. The Hoverwings are doing their job, and they're going to find their way once again into Kobayashi's, where Gugusea is already bringing a squad back.
As soon as Kobayashi's is excluded, which will be next ring, we won't have any more of these shenanigans going down in there. We are down to just 4 squads, and we've still got that Teleport Soul at play for TTV, who have retreated back up to the north again. Most Wanted also going to be up in the north, so look out for our Hoverwings Bishops to be making their way up there, because that is going to be the next place they can get the squad back together.
Cabanero has found a lip of land. Pumpers are just asking for it. Come on. Come on. Just try and use your glider. Please give us an invitation.
I think Pumpers know this, but you're not killing a Hoverwings Bishop. Oh my lord. On the other side of that, we get the Kingpin hook. Instant knock. Tomkick. Great play on the Kingpin. That's 2 times now where he's managed to find a pick for the rest of the team that is unanswered. We're going to see it happen again as he gets a knock onto Arcane with the slugs. This is excellent for TTV, and I am putting this solidly on the back of Tomkick right now. Great openers.
The radioactive plays from Friendly Fire pushes Pumpers north, and that puts them extremely in with a good chance here of finishing off the Gucci Good guys, forcing out that Bishop ultimate retry. That little lip of land is nowhere there. Midfield dog, or mid-air dogfight, sorry, with Cabanero. Pumpers got to watch out, and there goes the Gucci Good guys. It's Pumpers with yet another to the list. Top 3, dear.
Pumpers have put themselves right into the line of fire, though, of TTV. This Oath Shield now broken opens things up for a big engagement. Adamark does find one, and right into the front lines goes Tom Kick, who is bursted down immediately. Pumpers strike back.
The shot calling has been sublime from Turbo Velocity, but that one was just a step too far. But Hot Biscuit has been displaced. Lovely shift. Gugu Saya goes for the chase and manages to get out and finds the firm land underneath their feet again. Friendly Fire, of course, still got that nuke ready to launch. Both teams in front of them now. Turbo Velocity down to 3 in a scary place, but with Most Wanted, just one kill, dear, from Teldo, and this entire narrative is changed.
Friendly Fire, who have the majority of space. They find the singular isolated Myth, who tries to get away. Yes, she's slippery. Is she slippery enough? The rest of TTV come in behind looking for Nox, and they find one. Teldo reducing the timer on the Most Wanted by just a little bit. We've still got 3 squads left. We've still got time. We've still got hope for TTV.
It was the right team, but the wrong player. It was Adamark with the kill confirm, and Pumpers going in, backs against the storm. Earthshatter, they just about evade it. Teldo, Adamark utilizing their shifts. Adamark falls into the abyss. It's all on Teldo now. Very scary moments as he throws his Pokeball. Go-Go Gadget, Abyssal Creature. Lancelot now looking for their own Most Wanted, and they secure it.
Getting the full knock and a reset now for Friendly Fire. It's them versus the Pumpers. A big nuke going to deny area from the Pumpers, who have inherited the circle pull. Take a look. Pumpers have priority on this next ring. And after the games that they've had so far, it looks like they could be setting themselves to move from second last game to first this game.
But check this out. Friendly Fire, of course, the teleport soul was in the hands of Turbo Velocity. Friendly Fire have picked that up. They do not need to risk this. They can teleport wherever they want, as long as they're all in the same place, mind you, dear, of which the team is split. And that's exactly what Blixman is going to be looking out for as a little missile. Basically, just gives Gugu Saya the excuse to make the transition anyway.
Biscuit searching for bits of damage here and there. Again, incredibly effective on the strike this round, and I'm looking at this, the way that Pumpers are positioned, I think your best bet might just be to straight up cross. No gliders, no nothing, just hopping across the abyss. We'll see what Friendly Fire decide to do, but the thing is they don't have a whole lot of engagement. They're really relying on this Bishop to start fights for them. Gugu Saya to follow up. Outside of that, CC is basically no. We've got a full engage now going off. But I don't see a lot connecting. Blitzman finally gets back to the team somehow, some way, as Cab gets chunked out. And again, this lack of engagement going to be heavily punished, as there's no way to do this. For Friendly Fire, they get knocked into the storm.
Chapel phenomenal. Oh, but look at the Oath, completely overshot their mark. Lancelot goes in with that Jin, but has to go out, and they're not going to get out, sorry. Scratch that. Nuke goes down almost in desperation. They had the engagement in the palm of their hands, but Friendly Fire have had that responsibility ripped from their palms. The Pumpers, the leaders of the chasing pack now for Bomber, look to finish the job. Junker sent to the scrapyard here as Pumpers claim game number 3.
A wonderful finish for Pumpers and perfectly executed on this northmost ground.